Hello. All right, Messiah, Texas. We're back for another psalm on 5 Minute Friday. Oh, got my 5 minutes, so I'm going to try to stick to it. Okay, so we're in Psalm 13, and it's titled here in the NASB, A Prayer for Help in Trouble. Have you ever been in trouble and felt like, you were in some serious trials? I know that the last 6 months have been serious trials in my life and my family's life, and particularly my youngest daughter. And this is short, so I'm going to read it real quick. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long shall I take counsel in my soul, having sorrow in my heart all the day? How long will my enemy be exalted over me? Consider and answer me, O Lord my God. Enlighten my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him. And my adversaries will rejoice when I am shaken. But I have trusted in your loving kindness, your chesed. My heart shall rejoice in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord because he has dealt bountifully with me. So it was interesting as I looked at this psalm today. This morning, the Lord woke me up at sunrise. It was like before the sun had crested, and Chris is out of town, so I'm in Phoenix right now, and until the end this weekend. And so I was able to open the window and or the blinds and stuff, and I got up on the ottoman because I couldn't quite see to see the horizon, and I'm standing there because I was like, I'm going to get to see the sunrise. And as I was reading this verse, the enlighten my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death. A lot of times when we're going through these heavy things, it's really the sorrow in our heart just gets super heavy. And so this was an encouragement, because if we start to listen to things the Lord does, these little things he's constantly speaking. So today he spoke this way and letting me see the sunrise, and I thought it was interesting. I'd been thinking about doing it, but I've been kind of like, you're traveling, you're in different places, haven't gotten my rear end up to get up for it. So today I did. And so the enlighten can also mean to dawn, or to become light, or shine, illuminate. So the dawning of the sun is like the enlightening, right? Enlighten, but he's saying enlighten my eyes, so that he could get understanding, so that he didn't die. Like a lot of times, if you don't, like my daughter is right now, we're trying to get, you kind of get to the end of what the medical community can give you. And so we're crying out for the Lord. We've been crying out, like, we don't know where else to go, Lord. Like, we got to figure, we don't know how to figure this out. You're going to have to enlighten us, enlighten our eyes. And so, the enemy has come to steal, kill, and destroy. But this is an encouragement today, not only for me, but for Aaliyah, that the Lord is promising. I felt this morning that he's dawning. He is light. That light is coming, and he's going to, reveal what we need to do, so that we can, so the enemy will not overcome her and us, and that we won't be shaken. Now, the other thing here that was interesting, and I only have a few more minutes, so I'm going to point this out, is the word for death here is, mavet. Mavet in this sense, I'm sorry, is that shaken or death? No. Yeah, mavet here is sleep, the sleep of death, and that's mem, vav, tav, but it sounds exactly the same as when he says, enlighten my eyes, or I will sleep the sleep of death, and my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my adversaries will rejoice when I am shaken. And so the end of these lines, shaken, is also the same sound with mem, vav, tet. So it has the similar letters, except the T sound is just switched from tav for death to the tet. And that word is shaken. And so I just thought that was interesting. There's this sound play with the word shaken, and the fact that that though we get shaken up in these trials, we don't, like, the enemy will not overcome us. He will not succeed. And so but the key factor is to not fall into it easier to believe the negative, because your faith will grab hold of the negative more easily than the positive, because it takes almost a greater faith. It's easy to believe and just gravitate toward the negative. It's harder. I don't know why it is with us that our faith will attach. Well, whatever you are doing in worship, your faith, if you are, for example, fearing something, the fear that I have feared has come upon me, like Job says, you actually are putting faith in the wrong thing, in the fear, what you fear, right? But it's easy to do that in our flesh, in our carnal mind. So we have to override that with the Spirit and bring it down into our heart and trust in what God says, and override that before we manifest the wrong thing. Because you will manifest what you believe. Did you hear me? You will manifest what you believe. So if you hear the word and you align with the word of fear and the word the enemy came to kill, steal, and destroy, you will manifest that in your life. That will come upon you. The fear that you fear has come upon you. But God has a better word. Even it doesn't matter what your natural eyes see. You got to look through the eyes of the Spirit. And in so doing, you're going to see and then come in agreement and empower that in your heart. Hold on to those words. Like this word this morning, where my natural eyes can't see the end road. My natural eyes and the things on the ground, the circumstances, and doctors don't have answers, those kind of things. They don't have the healing for you. God does. And so that sunrise and all the circumstances, be listening, because I will hold on to that truth and I will plant it in my heart, that truth, that greater truth. And I know that my daughter will get healing. The enemy will not be able to take, and God will, in the end, verse 6, deal bountifully with us. And that word for bountiful can also mean wean. So as we go through these trials, as you're going through your trials, hold on to those truths, implant them in your heart, hold on to that faith no matter what your natural eyes see, because God will deal bountifully with you. He is faithful. So if you trust him, David says here, but I have trusted in your chesed, your loving kindness, your faithfulness, your trustworthiness, your loyalty. God is faithful and he is good. His goodness is everlasting. All right, so I was over a couple minutes, but see you next time. God bless.